Hi guys, Feral Crafter, and I'm still going. So I've snagged a few resources off of this vehicle, but I'm just leaving it to die out here because it's so many versions. Like this is version 3, and it just didn't work. Version 4 was the poop fly that disintegrated. So version 5 is this one, but I tore it up, I added to it, tore it up, added to it. Turns out the only way to get these to work is these are super heavy. I mean, like 3 of these weigh more than the entire vehicle. So the only way to deal with it is to have counterbalances. So we got 4 on the back, 5 on the front, and yeah, and that's the only way it actually works. So I've taken it slow, I've run some numbers, and it doesn't take much for this thing to just go crazy. And so, hang on, need to get energy. So, I still need to hop out of the rig and clean up the ground. There's times when that just digs in and leaves some ground that I just can't go over. So as you can tell by the lines, I've been, I guess, mowing. This one was kind of a deep one, and it stopped there, and I had to go back to base to unload. Another one where it dug in and kind of got stuck was over here. But I was actually able to dig out of that one, so I was rather impressed. Hauled a lot from that one. And this is another one where it started to dig in. So the problem is once it starts digging in, you just can't get it out. So I'm very cautious. Like this one was nice and clean, I could back out of this one. But no matter what I do, the ground is going to have this wavy pinstripe in it of where I've been. So this is where like one of my ships crashed, so it cratered, and that really gives the truck some real problems getting over. Like a vehicle with that many wheels. Yeah, and this is a spot that I dug it out. I successfully dug it out. But I'm slowly chewing up the ground. Yeah, this is the pattern it leaves behind. It's not that pretty. So I guess this is kind of more of a progress report. I found out you just have to counterbalance it. So these, they rotate and they actually tear up the ground from that high up. It will destroy the ground. And the way I mine, this tears up the ground severely. I have to keep it this far away from the ground or it just craters itself. So I just use suspension to determine my height and how much I'm going to dig in. So it's working-ish. It's tolerable. I've added on efficiency mods, so I get more yield. Yield mods, that's what it is. Gives me a greater output. So a backpack full of rock, once it's processed and turned into steel plates, instead of 13, I get 22. So a lot more output. There is no mod on the assembly, just the refiner. So I'm just going to stick to this one being refinery. And yeah, I kind of blocked the 4th one, but oh well. I'll live with it. So now that I've learned how to make this work right, 3 larges, so that's 45. I can get up to like 200 tons before I turn around and have to go in. So this one is actually quite successful, and it's problem I have is with the batteries. Uh, it can't. It really draws out the power fast. Like we're up to 18 kilowatts, but input is 46. Output is 1.18. But look at that. Kilowatt. This is coming in. Why is that not going up high? It's like very slow. And then there's another battery. So I've come to the conclusion the best thing to do is literally burn it off, because it starts off with 300 kilowatts to start with. Just tear it up, build a new one, and that's the fastest way to recharge. Is it a glitch? No. Oh, power cells. It always destroys the power cells. But you know what? That's nothing. That's nothing compared to the 86. Oh, that's ice. I did a load of ice. And the other thing I was wanting to talk about, I wanted to figure out how to get the engine going. So I know it needed a battery. It needed a cockpit to turn it on. And I tried, like, do we need a hydrogen tank? Don't know. But it definitely needed a H2O2 processing unit. So you load it up with ice. Inventory. So you load this up with ice. Okay. Can we just take it out of inventory? Hello, computer. There we go. The hydrogen tank is useless. It doesn't do anything with it. You need to throw ice in, but you can't throw ice into here for some reason. So you throw ice in here, and it automatically processes the hydrogen out of that. But it's just like horribly wasteful. So you start off with 300 with a fresh battery. Current output 4 kilowatts. It's not the cockpit. Control panel. Nope, there's no off switch on that one. This one, current output 0, max output. That how much is filled? Let's turn it off. Did it change anything? Nope. Still burning 4 kilowatts. Hydrogen tank. Toggle block. Oh, that's not power switch, huh? Toggle block. That is it. Okay. Max required in. So hydrogen tank. Nope. H2O2. Turn that one off. And that just took away 1 kilogram. Kilowatt. But it's still losing 3. Like landing gear? Nope. So, not too sure where the battery or the power is going to. 'Cause everything's so that's figured out how to get the engine going, but it just did not give enough power for like 1,000 liters of ice. I got something like 12 kilowatts. I'm like, that's not gonna last long, and it burned right through the ice. I'm like, that's not efficient. So all that extra gear. Well, the battery I have, the cockpit I have, but like, I guess I can do H2O2 and a engine. So where would I stick it though? I could tell you where to stick it. Anything on the bottom has a tendency of just exploding, like little things like ore detectors and beacons. So I just put those up high. I could put it over the. I have. Why is that on? God damn it! That's probably why. Current output. Huh. Lower output on this big thing as opposed to the other thing. Wonder what's burning up all the... Actually, each battery is putting out... So yeah, that's just over 3 kilowatts total. But like, look at that. 67 kilowatts coming in. Stored power. It went up 0.02, 0.03, 0.02, 0.03. So like 5.05 every 2 seconds. I'm like, I don't get it. So let's go in and look at this, shall we? So the new battery, fresh, 300. 16 hours left. The old battery was down to 0. 23 hours. 16. So you're saving hours of recharge. And I've been using this one a lot, so I've been chewing up the battery rather quickly. But it's working. What was I doing wrong? Well, one, you desperately need to have those counterweights. So the drill's on back, counterweight counterbalances the whole damn thing. The wheels, let me just explain what each of these do. Obviously, steering angle, how sharp you can turn, power, how much power it puts out. I burn through a lot of energy because of this power. Strength, this is suspension strength. If you put it up to this, come on mouse, you can fucking work. Strength all the way up, then you're just going to be not able to grip anything because you're just like stiff as a board. So you need some softness. If it's too soft, you drag an ass. So I found somewhere up in the 40s, like 45% is where it gives enough, it has enough give to it to grip the ground, but strong enough to hold its ass up. Offset height, this is high up. When I'm traveling to a spot, this is what I do. But when I start digging in, it's right here at 0 centimeters. Hold down Control, left click, and it actually goes out 4 decimal places, but I'm like, I just need... so yeah, this will actually pull in resources at that high up. And it won't dig into the ground, making this thing nosedive. Let me just demonstrate. So let's go through the process, shall we? Alright. I want to turn the wheels on because they consume power. Pooper needs to be turned off. Front drills, back drills, I'll start them up when I get away from the base, otherwise they will tear up things. Ore detector, don't need it. Beacon, don't need it. When I leave the base, I'll turn those on, but for now, don't need it. Solar panels obviously stay on. I need the power. Spotlights are off. Alright. Now, remove the parking brake. And to look around, you hold down Alt. So, the other thing I forgot to do. Parking brake back on. Bring it back up. Wheels. I stopped at height. Friction. You put this to 0 and it will slide like a hockey puck on ice. Like everything is just greased up and just with no grip. So it has to have 100% friction. That's how well you stick to the ground. Which I thought that was a world thing. You know, so it didn't make sense for friction, but yeah, we're going to up the friction on the tires. Speed limit. I'm doing 3 kph. Yeah, kilometers per hour, kph, because like it should be down at 1 mile an hour. but at that altitude, I really am not doing any damage to the mining drills at that speed. If I drop down lower, like, I'm just cratering it. I'm just going to go to the center of the Earth at that altitude. So 15's about a decent height where I'm like balanced between digging up the land and missing it. But for now, let's just put this back to 0. Speed, I don't know what these two are, but yeah, 3 miles an hour, anything faster, and this thing just, it explodes, it bounces off the world, it just doesn't work right. So as you can see, the wheels are spinning, and of course the easiest way to get moving is doing this, because this will actually grab something. So let me turn on the drills. Come on. Drill on. And there you go. They're off the ground, but they're chewing up dirt. But if I sit here, you'll see that it starts leaving a crater back there. And it's starting to form, but yeah, at this one I don't really like crater anything. So bottom right corner, you see the weight. It's 28,815. So I'm just like moseying around, and that number just randomly jumps. Doesn't make any sense when it does it or why it does it. It's just, it's going to sit at that number for a while and then suddenly jump. So this is, there's no way to smooth anything. Everything's going to get this striped cornrow effect. No matter which way you go, it's going to cornrow that direction. So you saw it got stuck on something. I don't see anything here, but I got stuck on it. So this, I'm kind of getting into the edge over here. Here we go, 30,170. Come on, you can do it. And again, it's way off the ground, not touching anything, but because the sphere is so big, it's just digging up things. So this is kind of my attempt to smooth things out. Like, where's that crater? You really tipped hard. Oh, there it is. Just went past it. And it's struggling to move. You see how it's just, it's floating off the top? I'm like, what's gripping? Where's the bad, there's some bad physics really going on. Like, why are you doing a wheelie? You're completely balanced. Like, why are you floating? And are you going to get stuck? So the coders really need to do some work on the tires. It's just, it's a good start. They just need to get better at it. Yeah, look at them, just tearing up everything by not touching anything. Lovely. Whew. This is going to be some interesting editing, but hey, I'm sober. Now that I get to the top, I'm trying to like chop this all down. So let me put on the parking brake, switch over to the tires, front and back. We'll drop down to 15 more centimeters. There we go. Take off the parking brake and let's go. And now you can see how it just chews up the ground. Still not touching. Still not touching. And you gotta be very, very careful because this is like, those wheels aren't even touching. You gotta be very careful because it doesn't take much for this to just start digging into the ground and nose diving. Or falling backwards for some unknown reason. There's like hidden objects that it's not being rendered and it just acting like it's on a ramp or like some super kickstand I didn't install. Now, going downhill I have to be careful. You'll notice that there's explosions happening. To keep under like 2.5 meters a second. Otherwise you're going too fast, you're not picking up enough stuff, and you're going to be doing damage to things that are not even touching the ground. So, yeah. No, slow down. Alright. As you can see the weight, I'm up to 50,448. Yeah, I just want to carve this down. And this seems to be like the only way to do it without like getting stuck or cratering. You know what? Let me go try to smooth off this area. I kind of got all cut into the mountain. I'm going to take it at an angle here. And I'm just going to see if I can clean this up. As in, like, drive along the edge and let the huge sphere chop up stuff. Massive wheels. Can't go over a speed bump. Come on. I have to twitch the wheels to move. Here we go. Are you moving? You moving? You moving? I know I got it set to 3 kilometers. Yeah, 3 kilometers an hour, but this is slower than that. It's getting stuck on something. It's over here. Heh 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 heh. I feel like I want to roll this vehicle. So, it's cute. But they need to get the physics right, because it's just bad. Like, what am I hitting? What's sparking? Why are you sparking? Not gonna spark for the camera here? Yeah, turn your back and you'll see all sorts of sparks and popping. You get done, you run around and like, there's no damage. There's no damage. Or there'll be something weird like the solar panel's damaged. I'm like, that's not the thing sparking. So they have more to do to get this to be a good game. But you know, maybe I'm just nitpicking the part that no one cares about. This is not called Planet Engineer. This is called Space Engineer. Come on. Yeah, I think he just dug in right there. You can do it. It's only a small little curb. You can do it. You can do it. Woo! That was a close one. Seriously. Little things like that will destroy an entire vehicle, and I'm like, freaking bastards. So I'm not too sure. Like, I'm thinking, come on, you can move. Are you high-centered on something? Probably. Let's raise it up a little. Raise up, dude! There we go. There's the crater that it made. Almost high-centered there. Come on. You can do it, it's just a curb. So yeah. And this is actually rolling downhill, so I don't have to do the acceleration. Now we're just too close to the base. I'm up to 104,271. This has always been a rough area here. So I probably need to like clean it up from this angle. If it can do it. Come on. Friction is 100%. Power is 100%. Can you do it? Can you do it? Yeah, it's starting to dig in. Let's put on a parking brake. There we go. A 1 second delay. Let's see. We want to lower the back so the nose comes up. So we want to lower it. So you, move the parking brake, and I hope I didn't just crater the front. As you can see, there's sparks going on. I'm up to 170,458. So this is doing well. It's not digging in too hard. But that, as you can see, still leaves the cornrows behind. Alright, that's pretty much it. Let's parking brake. Drill 1, drill 2, turn off. No, turn off. Turn off. You can do it. Wheels, let's raise up. Raise up, dude! Now, if I move the slider fast, the whole thing will jump. So literally, I just have to slowly creep it down so that I'm not like launching the vehicle into the air. Increase the speed up to 6. Now let's do 10. Friction, propulsion, power, steering, air shocks. Yeah, right. Steering. Alright. Take it off. And gotta be very careful because this thing will, it can't seem to stop itself. It will roll all the way down the hill. So let's give it a wide berth here. Use the momentum and hope I can turn this around. Otherwise I'll have to get out with my hand tool and clean it up. So yeah. Backing this up. And a little further. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Now, you can see that I've got the pooper device back there. So, it's off. It's off. Pooper, turn on. Wheels off. Wheels off. Battery. Let's look at that new battery, shall we? So I burned up a little bit. 9 kilowatts. Let's see, large container, nomad, solar panel, spotlight. And a lot of people, I expect, will be frustrated because it's too damn slow. I'm like, the recharging station, people are complaining about, oh, it's too slow. I'm like, really? No. But with this, it gives me time to mosey around the outside and check to see where those sparks came from. Apparently the battery got hit a lot. Again, things on the bottom are usually take a lot of damage for some stupid ass reason. But with it unloading this is the time to wander around the vehicle and just repair. And it's, yeah, there we go. A little there. You can hear it still going. Chunkity chunk, chunkity chunk, chunkity chunk. Do I need anything here? We good? We good? You guys get hurt? Any damage from all those evil rocks? Huh. There's some bulletproof glass. What about you? Don't know why those got damaged. They're not on the ground. What about you guys? So yeah. Bulletproof glass. And I had to dig it out, and yeah, of here, and redesign it. So let's just say that's iteration 6, and it's functioning. It's doing what it needs to. Now I could carve out words in this. It's going to take a while to mow this down. But oh well. Once I figure it out, once I get a good design to flatten this hill here, I'm going to go over there and flatten that whole thing. That's the plan. And I may just look into programmable blocks in AI and just like build one drone after another and get it automated. But the plan again is to harvest the whole planet and turn it into a space station. So I always go big. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.